Subscribe now. EU debates.
Indeed, as you saw from the President's tweets yesterday, President von der Leyen was invited by Prime Minister Orban to Budapest yesterday to discuss issues related to Hungarian and European energy security of supply in the context of the ongoing discussions on the Commission's proposals related to sanctions on Russian oil and petroleum products. So basically, the President went there to listen and to search for solutions jointly with Prime Minister Orban to solve Hungary's legitimate concerns when it comes to oil supply. Now, you have heard me say here in the press room a number of times, indeed, that we acknowledge that Hungary and other countries that are landlocked and have a significant energy dependency on Russian oil supply are in a very specific situation which requires that we find specific solutions. So that was what the discussion was about. It was a very constructive discussion which allowed us to identify a certain number of issues on which to work, and this work will now continue. On the video conference which you mentioned, the video conference will take place once we have made progress on the technical work, so that the video conference can bear the best possible fruits. The discussion yesterday didn't go into timelines. The discussion yesterday focused more on the types of issues which needed to be resolved, and there are various elements there to mention. One first obvious element is oil transportation infrastructure. Right, since Hungary is a landlocked country receiving its crude oil through pipelines, it's obvious that if Hungary is to replace that oil through other sources, it needs the appropriate pipeline capacity connecting it to those other sources. Storage of oil is also an issue. Refinery infrastructure, obviously, and then there's the more general issue of the transformation of the energy system in order to cope with a shift away from Russian oil. So all these issues were put on the table. I have seen it written all over the press that indeed we had in our proposals made specific proposals related to differentiated timelines corresponding to the different situations of specific countries, and that is definitely one of the variables, because obviously if you're talking about investments in upgrading infrastructure, you need time. But yesterday's meeting did not go into specific timelines.